Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? This is Joe Tommaso, and thanks for listening to this edition of 15 Minutes With. If you guys would like to help keep the show going and would like to see it get better, please donate to paypal.me/Joe Tommaso. Again, that's paypal.me/JoeTomaso. Any comments, suggestions, or somebody you might want us to interview, please email me at insidetherazorwire@gmail.com. Again, that email is insidetherazorwire@gmail.com. Or you can snail mail us at P.O. Box 162, West Haven, Connecticut 06516. What's it like to be transgender and in prison? Let's get to it.
Oh, this is a prepaid collect call from
Stephen?
an inmate at SCI Green. This is a call from Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution, Green. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. To accept charges, press 1. To refuse charges, press 2. If you would like to permanently block your number from receiving, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hello?
Hey, good afternoon. So today we're going to be discussing being transgender in a prison situation or living in prison, being transgender. So what we're going to do is I wanted to ask, you weren't always living your life in prison as a transgender woman, correct?
You're saying that I haven't?
You were not originally living in prison as a transgender woman. You eventually came out as transgender, correct?
No. I mean, I always have been, but no, I haven't been living as one, no.
Okay, so, but now since this January of 2019 is when you actually started living as a transgender woman in the prison system and started receiving hormone replacement, correct?
Actually, it was January 2018.
Okay.
And I started receiving hormones in February 2018.
Okay. So describe the process of searching, for yourself and who you are while you're in prison.
I've always hated who I was. And that was the driving force behind, all my dysfunction, especially when people said that they loved me and cared about me. It's like, how can you do that when you don't know the real me? You know who I'm presenting as, and that's a person who I don't like. Since I identified as transgender, it was like all that turned around. Internally, things have gotten a lot better for me. I can now live with myself. I'm happy with myself. The problem I have here is the hate.
Well, that's what we're going to touch on in a couple of minutes. I wanted to get from you, describe what it's like to live life as a transgender woman in a male prison.
Well, the only experience I have is here,
Mm-hmm.
and it's incredibly difficult. I mean, it's easy to do. It's just, the subject we just spoke about that you said we'll touch on. That's the only thing that makes things difficult at this point.
Right. Now, are you having problems like with the inmates, or are you having problems with staff?
Well, there's always going to be problems with people.
Okay.
It's inside or outside of prison.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the prisoners, they either leave me alone or they respect me. It's mostly from the staff. There's a small group of staff, and believe me, it's not all. Most of the staff here are really good.
Mm-hmm.
This is a call from Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution, Green. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
There's a small group of staff that, they're based on a hate group, and I've been called a disgrace to my race. They do not like the fact that I'm a white transgender. If I was black, that would be more par for their course, because they don't like African Americans anyways. But what makes things worse is my fiance is a black male.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying that the inmates overall treat you pretty much okay, but it's definitely the staff, and it's not all staff, but it's a select group of staff that tends to treat you badly.
Yes.
Okay. Have you had any problems on the inside because of being transgender? And if you have, can you kind of explain what those are?
I've had extensive problems. It mostly stems from gender expression.
Okay.
It's a recognized form of treatment. The Harry Benjamin and the WPATH standards of care, there's three of them. Gender expression, hormone replacement therapy, and gender reconstructive surgery.
Mm-hmm.
All three can safely be accomplished in prison. It's just here, they do everything they can to push that back. And that's where the fight comes in. I mean, they don't understand that it's the gender expression that allows me to be who I am. And when you repress that and I get pushed back into the male role, then I fall back into the cycle that I was in my whole life, which was nothing but, self-hate, self-destruction.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up too. I mean, there's a story for those who don't know. This was actually out of Georgia. It's been going on over the last several years, of Ashley Diamond. Ashley Diamond is in kind of a
Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution. Green. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
Ashley Diamond is actually a transgender woman, was sent into the Georgia Department of Corrections. And Georgia, they actually frown upon doing hormone replacement. Only after taking them to court, and even when it was first ordered, there was a problem. They gave her the very minimal treatment they could possibly give. She was actually represented by the Southern Poverty Law Center, and I believe she may actually be released now. But what they did, which is sort of kind of what's going on with you in ways, is they try to move, they tried to move her around, and then if there was something where she stuck up for herself, they would basically either put her in the hole or they would transfer her to a different facility. I mean, I think, to a degree, that's kind of what's going on with you, because you brought up recently that they actually wanted to transfer you.
Yeah, they haven't done that yet. They have transferred me from one unit to another, but I don't believe that had anything to do with choosing being transgender.
Mm-hmm.
What they do with me is, everything I have is contraband. That's contraband. That's contraband. And they use what's called altered or not used for its intended purpose. And under that definition, pretty much everything can be considered contraband if twisted.
Can you explain to the people that are listening what you mean by that?
Well, I had a bow in my hair. That's contraband. That's not used for its intended purpose. That's altered. Clothing altered. The scarf that I have, I wear it as a belt, and you'll see in the picture that I gave you. We're a lot more, according to the property matrix, we're allowed to have a belt, and I'm having a problem with that. And it's only certain staff. It's like, that's contraband. That's not used for its intended purpose. It's like a scarf could be used anyway. I'm wearing it. It's an accessory. Just, and my underwear, bras, and panties, were torn up. I have to make my own because, they don't give them to you here.
Right.
They do give you is, not usable. So to convert it into something more feminine, we, make our own bras and panties.
Mm-hmm.
And, they ripped them. Like I said, it's not all staff, but it's the administration that won't step in and stop it, and it's also mental health and medical who won't recognize gender expression as an accepted form of treatment. Nothing that any of us are doing, including myself, presents a risk to safety and security, which is what the definition should include. It just doesn't, which gives officers a chance to basically do whatever they want. They can abuse their authority that way, which is why we're moving forward to challenge all this.
So when you're saying you're moving forward to challenge it, what are you looking to do?
I've already exhausted my grievances, and we're preparing a lawsuit as of right now. Getting ready to file it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be the only plaintiff at this point, but I am reaching out to other impact litigators to try and turn this into a class action. There's a few impact litigators here in Pennsylvania that may pick up the case, and if they do, then they can turn it into a class action and help everybody.
So how many, at your facility right now, how many transgender inmates do you know at your facility? I know, from what I understand, there's something like 227 total in the entire state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, there's 4 here. Other facilities have a lot more. Like I said, there is quite a few in Pennsylvania, and a lot of other facilities are better than here. Like I said, it's the location. You know, we're right on the Mason-Dixon line. And like I said, the whole transgender thing is bad enough, but the fact that my fiance is an African American, you know, that really angers them. I mean, you can see the contempt on their face when we walk around together.
That's what I was going to bring up as well. You know, just so the listener gets that there's no sexual stuff going on in nature, you know, because you are stating it's your fiance. So I think you really should explain, or not explain, but express to the listener that there's no sexual, contact going on. And in fact, you're not even on the same unit.
No. In fact, and I met him through his legal work. He was the first person I ever came across who I actually believe is innocent. And as I got to know him, we just grew close. And he's the only person that really right now in the world who knows everything about me. And he loves me. And he knows what happened to me many years ago in prison, and he knows I'm not capable of a sexual relationship in a prison because of what happened. I was sexually assaulted. And he's not trying to push. I don't want to see him stay in prison. I want to see him go home, and breaking a rule like this could cost him going home. So, I mean, no, there's no sexual aspect of this relationship at all. Not that there couldn't be if we were in a different situation, just not here because we really care about each other. And if you care about someone, you're not going to put them in jeopardy. And this would put him in jeopardy of not going home, and I could never allow that. And to spend too much time in prison.
Right. That's why I wanted to really, like I said, put out there that there is no actual sexual contact, that there are feelings between the two of you, but it's not sexually in nature. I don't want anybody turning this around and just saying that you guys, are together for the sexual aspect. You know what I mean?
And that's how I know it's for real. I mean, because he's still with me. He still wants to go through the marriage, and we probably have no chance at all of ever being on the same block. And that's how I know it's real. There's no other benefit other than, we care about each other. So we do see each other at yard and, occasionally at meals. It hurts both of us because he's my mental health support. He can talk me down when I start spinning out of control. I help him with reading, writing, understanding when he goes home, culture shock. We have a symbiotic relationship. It's a real one. It's not just what a lot of people would consider that, just sexual, which is what this staff does. And I really get angry with that because we've never even attempted it. So, I mean, for them to keep saying that is really, really disrespectful to both of us.
No, that's what they're using also is, my understanding is Pennsylvania and SCI Green, you can, in fact, get moved onto a block with somebody or somebody you're related to, but in your case, they're not allowing that to happen.
Yeah, and they've actually said, we don't want you guys hooking up. And it's like they don't understand how disrespectful that is, yet they move other people, and they are hooking up. So, I mean, it really is crazy. They don't like the fact that it's a black and white relationship. They really don't.
Okay, we're at 14 minutes and 30 seconds, so I guess we're going to end this now. Is there anything you want to say to anybody before we actually end the call? Because
you have 1 minute left.
There you go.
Yeah. Real quick, prison is not the place to be for anything. Not if you're transgender, not if you're an addict, not if you're a father or son or anybody. I mean, I wish people could see what it's really like in here so they would know that, there's consequences for our actions, and even mistakes could end up like this.
Okay. thank you very much for the interview today, and I think this clears up some stuff and, will lighten some of the listeners. So I appreciate you calling.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to 15 Minutes With. I hope you've enjoyed this edition. If you have enjoyed this edition of 15 Minutes With, please hit the like and the subscribe button. You can also help me keep this show going and watch it get better by donating to paypal.me/Joe Tomaso. That address again is paypal.me/JoeTomaso. 15 Minutes With is constantly looking for new content to upload and new people to interview. If you would like to share your story, or if there's someone you would like to see us interview, please email us at insidetherazorwire@gmail.com. That email address again is insidetherazorwire@gmail.com. Last but not least, again, if you like to support this channel, please subscribe and hit the like button. Until next time, we'll be seeing you